G'day everyone, Brian from Prime Cuts Lawn Care, yes, New South Wales, Australia. Just Friday morning, 29th of May, just a tad after 8 o'clock in the morning. So just heading out to get the Ventrac. So I've got a job today. Part of it's pretty straightforward, part of it's very tricky. So the straightforward bit is just I'll call it a triangular section down at the bottom of the paddock near the river. Should be okay. The next portion is a very, I guess, lumpy and bumpy section and it's would be typical of a lot of rivers where, you know, when they're in flood, they and recede, it dumps stuff, but it also means, you know, the undulations based on the flow of the water. So the customers asked me to see if I can do that. As we say in Australia, I'm going to give it a go, and we will see what happens. So like I said, just heading out to pick Ventrac up. It's a beautiful day, a little bit misty, a little bit foggy to start off with, but you can see the blue sky. But we do have more rain coming. I think next Wednesday we get close to an inch, but we've got lots of little bits every day sort of thing, you know, maybe up to 5 mils and stuff like that, which keeps everything damp. And look, it's typical of late autumn, early winter that we do get that stuff. The grass isn't really growing. I still do have some mowing to do, but it's not the urgency of you know, spring and summer, because it's really not growing. So like I said, just going to pick up the Ventrac. I'll once I get set up, we'll get some vision. So that's lumpy and bumpy, everybody, but we got it done. You'll notice I had the deck up. It's just too thick to get it down to 4 inches. So we'll go down and have a look at that little triangle area. That looks a bit rough. And then we've got the rest of that area over there. And then I've got, well, what I think to be the harder stuff. But anyway, that was pretty challenging. So that's, this area is done. I couldn't do in there because there's a big log, as you can see, the tree and the sticks and everything in there. And then this bit here is, to my left, is the same. So I'll just set up down here so we can see this other bit down the end. Whew, that was hard work. There's an old hay bale down there. You can see a log sticking out. But then where that hay bale is just before it just drops off. So these are the things that you actually can't see when you're doing this sort of stuff because of where it is on the river. So you just got to go really slow, be really deliberate, and this is exactly what the Ventrac is for. So I'll just give you an afters of this. So that's where I started up there. You can see how it drops off here, and then just where I'm walking, it really drops off. Let's call it drops off a cliff. So you just got to be so careful. And then down this area, it's just all lumpy and bumpy. And then, excuse the bumpiness everybody, and then this area I've just done. So what that's done for the customer is opened it right up so he can see where he can get in with his slasher, and there's areas that you just can't with the normal tractor, you topple over. So the next bit is over here, and that's an unknown, and I know there's lumpy and bumpy in there, so we'll just have a crack at that, and I'll set that up soon.